What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. And first of all, we're going to start out on the 1 week time frame right now. And guys, the area we were looking at, and this was from our video on Saturday, was this 200-week moving average in white. And the fact that we have lost that now is extremely significant in my opinion. I know some guys are going to be telling you out there, you need to buy, you need to buy. And guys, we definitely could have some type of, quick reaction bounce back up to try to test that 200-week moving average again. But the fact that we had a candle close below it, and now we're seeing some follow through today, which we're going to have to wait to see where the daily candle closes, which we're going to get into all this. But this is an area, in my opinion, to be more protective of your capital than to try to say, okay, it's a much lower price, I'm going to jump in. Because a lot of the times, a lower price does not necessarily mean you need to jump in and buy just because it's at a lower price. You need to have some confirmation. And for me, it's extremely dangerous to try to jump in a trade right now or try to buy right now when we just broke down through that 200-week moving average. Guys, you got to think about this. We've lost the 20, we've lost the 40 in orange, we've lost the 50, and we've lost the 200. So all those now are going to act as overhead resistance for us until we have a big groundswell of volume. And right now, just looking even at the stock market, the futures are down over 1,000 points right now. So this is definitely a day to be careful. I believe in capital preservation, and I'm always going to preach it to you guys because I really think that's what can help people in this space. I want to try to help people save money. So would I rather jump in right now and try to catch a falling knife to get Bitcoin cheaper, or would I rather wait for a higher price and have confirmation? And to me, I'm all about capital preservation. I would rather buy Bitcoin at a higher price when I know that we're back in an uptrend again, or at least I know I can play some type of fast reaction and then get back out of the market. But think about it right now, guys. We're at 4,786. And say you would have even bought up here yesterday at around 5,500. Look at that. You're close to $1,000 loss already if you're playing a full Bitcoin position. So this is where you have to be extremely careful, guys. Just because we're oversold doesn't always mean you need to jump in. You need to wait for that confirmation. So guys, if you get some from these videos, I'm going to continue to move on here. I got about 4 or 5 more points I want to make for you, but smash that like button, hit that notification bell, share with your friends. Like I said, I'm always going to try to be truthful with you the best that I can on this channel, because I know a lot of people just really pump coins and really pump Bitcoin, and you have to buy in and this and that. Guys, really treat this market as though it is as speculative as it is, in my opinion. So let's dig into this, guys. So we've lost the 200-week moving average on the 1 week time frame. We're going to move into the 1 day. I really want to take a look here. So in terms of our 1 day, what we ended up getting here, guys, it almost closed as, like, if we're looking at the real body here, almost a bullish Harami pattern, but we really didn't get much follow through. You can see we had a longer wick here. You had a volume climax. So what I ended up doing, and guys, because I'm pretty quick at trading, I like to get in and out. After we had this major climax dump, I bought in the following day, rode it up, and got out. And ever since, I've just been sitting in cash, protecting it, waiting for the next great opportunity. But I'm not that impressed with the follow through that we've gotten. You can see we're actually moving to the downside now after we had 2 long wicks. It almost looked like a little bit of a tweezer top reaction there, to where we came back up. We tried to hold that area of almost around $6,000. We got pushed back to the downside. We had a day of downside, and then the next day we tried to push up again, and we got close to that $6,000. And then we ended up closing at 5,340. So that's almost a $700 loss right there from where we were at the highs that we could not defend. So that's why I said this is just the area to be extremely careful, because look at our moving averages now. They're going to start crashing down upon us. So like I said, we may get some moves where we come back to them, but a lot of times after you hit those moving averages, especially the 50, you'll start bouncing back down, or that 200. And that's why it's so significant for us to really get back into that uptrend, guys. We have to now break through that 200-day moving average again, which we finally got over top of. We broke it January 28th, and we traded up above it until we lost it around February 28th. So we were up above that 200-day moving average for over a month, and that showed that the bulls could not hold it. And now, just like waves we've talked about before, these moving averages are crashing down upon us. So you have to remember, align yourself with the trend, and the trend is down. Now, do I suggest shorting Bitcoin in this position? Absolutely not. We are way too oversold. I think the best position is to be in cash, wait for confirmation, and really sit back. We're at 24 on the RSI right now. And if I pull this up, I'll show you where we've been before. But guys, we also have to add in all the factors that are taking place around the world as well. This is something that, we really haven't had this type of, virus spread through America, at least in my time frame. I'm 31 years old. I haven't seen anything like this. So this is definitely a time when you want to protect your capital. We've gotten as low before as 9.72 on the RSI, so we definitely can go lower. That's when we hit that 3100. But right now, guys, we're at 24. So we are in oversold territory, but we're not having much of a reversal yet. We haven't started breaking, the RSI trend line to the upside, anything like that. And if we actually do take a look here, and what I wanted to do was go from after we had this climax dump out of our descending triangle, I want to take our Fibonacci from our swing low from that area all the way up to the swing high of that 14,000. Okay, so we're going to look at this overall market structure right here. So from our low up to our high, we are now down at this area of around that 0.786. So you got to think about, guys, we've lost almost 80%. With the wick down into here, we've lost almost 90% of this entire uptrend that we are in 2019. That's the significance of this. And like I said, I wanted to see Bitcoin be that safe haven for the longest time. Maybe things are going to change. I truly believe that it was the gold 2.0. Guys, I'm not smashing Bitcoin here. I'm just telling you the truth. In my expectation, if I was looking at this a year ago, I would have said, gold, silver, safe havens, and then also in the digital aspect, Bitcoin. People would be flocking to Bitcoin if they were pulling their money out of the stocks, and that is not the case, at least right now. So you need to take that into consideration and be careful during this time. And why capital is so important, you have a lot of people who still need to make mortgage payments. You have people who need to pay bills, doctor bills, all the different things that are going on. So they're liquidating their crypto. They're liquidating these things so that they can pay their bills. I mean, that's the seriousness of everything, guys. And that's why when you're in this market, you don't want to put your capital in and then have another, 15 to 20% drop. So that's where I want to try to help you all and just tell you to be careful. We want that confirmation. Now, going into the 4-hour time frame, we're going to take a look at this and see if we're getting any confirmation. I'm going to pull off our Fibonacci. Let's see. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, guys, our reactions just haven't been that impressive. I mean, we had this big volume right here that came in, but other than that, we've really just been moving sideways. And what you can see is we tried to get up above and close up above this 20-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll call it our 20 moving average. You can see how we tried to get up above that, and the buyers just couldn't hold it, and we got pushed back down again. And the fact that we lost that and got pushed back down, we couldn't close up above it, that showed another dump was on the way. So we just set a lower low in terms of the real body candle closes. You see, guys, and that's in a downtrend. You're going to continue to have these lower highs and lower lows. So now we're going to have to look to see if this is going to be our bottom, and we're going to start moving to the upside again to try to challenge 5,364, or if we're just going to continue to get that move to the downside. And guys, when we look at this, just like we are now in the 4-hour, what I wanted to do is go back out to the 1-day time frame for us. And I wanted to show you in TradingView something, just to give you an idea so you can kind of align yourself. Okay, so take a look at this on the 1-day time frame. You have a 17 sell, you have a 7 neutral, and you have a 4 buy. In terms of oscillators, we have a 2 sell, we have a 6 neutral, and a 3 buy. And in terms of moving averages, 15 sell, 1 neutral, 1 buy. Now, in terms of the oscillators, you can see that 24 is showing a buy signal because of that oversold territory. So you can kind of go through and look at the buys, you can look at the neutrals, you can look at the sell, you can look at all the moving averages are basically all sell because we are having that downside pressure. And some of the things to the buy side are just because we are in such oversold territory. So guys, could you jump in right now and catch a little bit of a bounce and maybe, have a move to the upside? Absolutely. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just telling you if you're doing that, be very careful about it, and that capital preservation is the #1 key for us. When you're in a downtrend, you either want to be shorting in a downtrend or you want to be in cash, right? When you're in an uptrend and we're moving like we are in an uptrend here, you want to be buying those dips before the next rally. And then you have a dip, then you have the next rally, and it goes with this volume. Large volume to the upside, and then as you retrace, the volume's going to die down. Then the next pump to the upside, heavier volume, and then the volume's going to die down. That's how an uptrend works. To the downside now, you're going to have these big sticks of volume to the downside, then you're going to have a lighter volume as you have a reaction, then a bigger stick to the downside, then a lighter reaction. So those are the things that you do have to look for and really pay attention to volume. okay? But guys, this is the area where I believe capital is more important. Even if Bitcoin were to pump a ton today, which it can happen. I mean, this space, guys, is so manipulative, and that's where I'm not going to come on here and tell you, oh, it's just about the technicals or it's just about the fundamentals or whatever. I'm mostly a technical trader. But when you look at this and you realize how manipulated this space is, these type of dumps aren't common. We're up here around $10,000. We have went down to as low as $63. Think about that, guys. That's showing an over $6,000 loss to the downside. And that's why you want to protect yourself from this. So even in this area, you're thinking, you're going, okay, it's $6,700, it's $7,000. We had this inverted head and shoulders. That was our bottoming. I better buy here, better buy here. Think if you would have bought it around $6,500, look where you're looking now, almost a $2,000 loss on a one Bitcoin position. So don't catch falling knives. Align yourself with the trend. Have patience. In bear markets, cash is king. You want to be either shorting, which I don't believe we should be shorting right now, or you should be in cash, waiting for a great opportunity, waiting for that confirmation. Those are the things that I like to look for, guys. And I'm sorry to spend so much time on this video here for Bitcoin. I only meant it to be 5 or 6 minutes, but I wanted to share this stuff with my subscribers. I want you guys to be careful. Okay? Just be careful out there. That's the main thing. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We got a lot going on, and people could get extremely crazy. So always protect that capital. If you see a good trade, and you're into this space and you know what you're doing, go for it. But for those, who are just trying to buy a quick bottom or whatever, just be careful, guys. Look at even the wicks alone on this. When you have wicks of 19%, it's just insane, guys. It's just absolutely insane. If the normal market goes down 20% overall like we have, it pushes you into a bear market in the Dow Jones. And we're looking at wicks that are 20%. So just realize where we're at, guys. We did have a lot of volume come in. So there could have been some people who were buying in these lower areas and who are now going to hold. But overall, be careful. Guys, if you get some from this video, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today. Just remember the trend. And remember what I talked to you about capital preservation. God bless you all. Take care.